Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Thomas Spark and welcome back to another video. Now, as you guys know, I run VPN tier list. This is basically a website that objectively rates VPN providers by various tiers. The data suggests each tier, and that's where I rate them. So basically the way it works, so if you look at the tier list itself, you could go to this page right here, which is the data table. This data table collects information about various VPN providers, and it will rank them based on that data. We have certain qualifications for certain things. For some reason, my website, I'm not quite sure exactly why. It loads a little slow with VPN, so that's kind of why I went back here. But here's the data table itself, and you can even look and specifically look at what VPNs rate the highest for privacy, but the entire ranking catalogs everything that goes into a VPN service, being speeds and network size, stream compatibility, various app features, extra bundled editions you might find interesting. So it's an aggregate of everything that VPN company offers. I had someone come in my server once and saying, hey Tom, why do you rate VPNs based on if they have extra cool things like password managers, or maybe some cool things like storage, or any other kind of bundle they offer? Well, I told that person, I'm not rating the pizza exactly. I'm rating the entire restaurant, the entire VPN offering, the companies themselves. And that's really what the tier list has come to be, rating these companies by them as companies and what they can offer you to the privacy community. Of course, they offer just VPN services, but they've begun to offer more. That's kind of why the VPN tier list has broadened out. But today's video specifically is talking about which VPN do I personally use. The VPN tier list rates VPNs by the data, but that doesn't necessarily mean as a daily driver, I'm always using the top rated VPN provider, whether that be NordVPN or maybe even something like TorGuard. Do I use those? Well, maybe not. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. So actually right now, my main VPN driver is Surfshark. And guys, if you like what I have to say about them, I'll be putting a link down in the description down below if you want to check them out for yourselves and get this available discount that gives you a free month right now. And why is that? Well, this is my main kind of driver right now I've been using for VPNs. Why is that exactly? Why do I choose this one to use for me personally? That's what we'll discuss. So one of the things really I like about Surfshark is its interface. I think it just has one of the best interfaces, especially with the updates that they've put into this application in the last year or two. It just has a very nice interface that when you're connecting on the computer, or especially on iPhone, it has like nice animations. It feels very fluid. That's one thing I really do like. What about the other things when it comes to Surfshark? For me specifically, there's a lot more servers available to me than some other VPNs out there, specifically from my exact location. Now, I won't go into that in detail because I don't want to dox myself, but Surfshark does have very good server locations, so that's definitely another plus. Another good thing about Surfshark lately that makes me like it is they develop really good applications. They just made an application for Apple TV. It did take a little bit longer to come out, but I actually do think it's one of my favorite ones so far when it comes to the Apple TV. If you're looking to use something like Surfshark to bypass your restrictions on Apple TV, or just remain a little bit more anonymous while using the Apple TV, this is definitely a pretty good pro. A couple other reasons I really like Surfshark is the bundled options are very good. And if you do decide to buy Surfshark with their ultimate package, you get Incogni built in. This is a service I use myself because it removes your information from data brokers, and I don't want people to find that information. So this is definitely a must have, and it's really the only VPN that kind of bundles it affordably. You can kind of get it as an add-on with NordVPN, but it is a little bit more expensive. But like I said, with Surfshark specifically, you could get the One Plus package for around $120 for 2 years. And that includes Incogni built in and antivirus and a lot of these other cool features. So I actually find a lot of this stuff useful. Now, do I really use the antivirus? Well, not really, because I use Malwarebytes kind of primarily just because I've used that for so long. Some of these kind of things can be useful, but primarily for me, getting Incogni built in for $120 for 2 years or a couple extra free months as well, with this link in the description down below, by the way, if you want this deal. It's really a very good deal for me specifically. A couple other reasons that are just kind of givens are that Surfshark has very fast speeds, and lots of locations I do get good speeds, which is definitely important. Now, you guys may be wondering, hey, Tom, you've been reading TorGuard for a long time and you tell people you use it as your main VPN. Well, that's actually true. I have used TorGuard for a long time, but lately I've kind of been enjoying Surfshark more. Well, what are some of the reasons why I haven't been enjoying TorGuard as much? Well, here are some of the issues I wrote down. I find that the PC connection times can be a little bit slow. Just generally, when you're connecting, it takes a little bit longer than other VPNs. I've discussed this with the team in the past, multiple times, and they never really gave me a good reason why this was the case. They just said, you know, we want to make sure everything is doing it right, but that doesn't really make sense to me. Every other VPN connects faster on PC than TorGuard, and I'm not really sure why this is still an issue to this day. Another thing about TorGuard is while they do have a lot of interesting add-ons like email, they don't really update the email that much. And some of these other add-ons, I don't really have that much use for. Their V2 Ray is very interesting for people in Iran or stuff like that. The private cloud offerings are very good for power users who want to set up their own network. But they don't really have any specific tools like data broker removal tool like Surfshark offers with Incogni that I can use. I really wish TorGuard offered something like this, and I think they could do it really well, but I've heard nothing from the team about these interesting add-ons like this. Another thing with TorGuard is that I've noticed that the updates are a little bit slow and the development has seemingly kind of slowed down over the years. If you look at the Android app updates, it's like you see people kind of complaining about. As you can see here, it hasn't been updated for nearly a year now, and this is definitely kind of concerning. Now, I personally don't use Android every day as my daily driver, but it's kind of something at the back of my mind. If I'm using a VPN, I want to make sure that everybody that is using it is kind of safe and the application is updated a lot. I mean, that generally makes sense. Additionally, TorGuard has promised some features like split tunneling for years now, and they still haven't come out with it. And I'm kind of disappointed to see that. I did see them kind of discussing how ExpressVPN really fucked it up by, you know, leaking DNS requests from that feature. But I still think personally there's a way to do this one right, to have it secure and implemented well. So many other VPNs have it. I don't think all of them are leaking information. At least with TorGuard, they would really kind of set a trend if they could say, we have a split tunneling feature and we've done it right and it's better than anyone else's. That's still not here today. It just seems like they haven't bothered with it. And just saying, you know, hey, we don't want to develop this feature because it's not secure isn't really a good reason for me. Lastly, iOS applications, animations are a bit clunky. When you push the connect button, it doesn't really have any good indication that you clicked on or anything like that. I just find Surfshark's animations and interface interaction is generally better. Now, what are some of the cons that I kind of wish it did have? Well, I would like if Surfshark has a SOC 5 proxy, NordVPN has that, TorGuard has that, and that's definitely something kind of missing from Surfshark's offerings. But for me specifically, I haven't been torrenting as much lately. If I am using a VPN, I'm just kind of using it for that basic anonymity factor when going to certain websites, or kind of using this Incogni or some of the extra bundles within this VPN product offering. So yeah, I don't really care too much about the SOC 5 for me personally, but I do think it would be a good value proposition. Some other things Surfshark could improve would be kind of improving transparency across the board, having less trackers on the website and stuff like that. But for me, that's not a huge issue since I'm not really on the website that much. Once you buy it, you don't really need to go to it again. And I kind of have a feeling they're just using the information to kind of optimize their product offerings and stuff like that, which I don't have a huge issue with. Now, if people are especially paranoid, they might not like that. Some people specifically want to buy VPN with Monero and stuff like that to become completely anonymous, but for me it's good enough just to have Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency option, using a burner email and that kind of stuff, and Surfshark does offer that as well. So not really too many concerns in the privacy and anonymity front when using Surfshark. Anyways guys, that's just my opinions and you might find them useful for your specific use case. Let me know down in the comments down below what you think, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.